Okay, so this is going to be part 2, and I want to answer a few questions as to why my mental health rating was evaluated. And yes, it was evaluated. Now I'm going to post part 1 in the pinned comments below, and that'll give you more of the personal story and the context to this. But regardless, I was re-evaluated, and this video is going to focus, part 2 is going to be on the why portion of me being re-evaluated. And yes, that condition was static, and yes, the VA can re-evaluate whatever it is that they want. Don't get that twisted, okay? If you get value from this channel, the best thing you can do is watch the video all the way through. Above all else, that's number 1. Also, like, sub, and comment if you had a reevaluation, or if you're scheduled for a routine future evaluation. This was not an RFE. My condition was static at that point in time, but watching this all the way through and doing those things really helps getting it into the hands of veterans who need it. Okay, so I left, this is going to be paraphrased, right? I left the Marine Corps in 2019, and as soon as I got out, I got squared away with VA healthcare for many, many reasons, many different conditions, but specifically for mental health. I have been in and out of treatment since 2014, so I had 5 years of evidence prior to exiting the Marine Corps, and I was just basically transferring my healthcare over to the VA so I could continue that treatment. Now, with the VA, they took a total different approach healthcare-wise. The VA was very focused on medication, one, which I'm not a really big fan of personally. And the VA was really big on cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT, right? So on top of CBT, I was going to educational like courses through the VA that were all online that essentially covered different ways you could manage your mental health. Now, after about a year from being rated and then going through all that healthcare stuff with the VA, I reported to my VA healthcare and psychiatrist at the time that the treatments were helping and the courses helped me manage and get through my day. Now, that's the paraphrase version. It's a bit more complicated than that. And obviously, I'm not going to share my stressors and actual real symptoms in detail for YouTube to kind of slap me in the face there, right? But this was in 2020. So I got rated in 2019. Fast forward to 2020. It was a little bit less than 1 year. On top of my mental health treatment, I also started to submit more claims. That part's key, because by submitting more claims, bada bing, bada boom, even though my mental health rating was static, I had evidence that indicated, according to my VA healthcare team, that my mental health status improved simply because I said I could manage my health or my symptoms a bit better, right? The symptoms didn't go away, but that is what sparked the re-evaluation. Now, luckily, outside of that one visit to the VA, I had other evidence that was very convincing of my mental health symptoms, my other symptoms. And at the end of the day, that evidence is what ended up being the saving grace for that mental health rating. Now, the whole reason I share that story to begin with is to educate and inform the veteran community so that when you go to your healthcare appointments, which are extremely important, by the way, healthcare is important. You also need to remember that the words that come out of your mouth during that appointment actually matter, and how your VA healthcare team interprets those it will, not if, it will play a role, especially if that evidence indicates you, hallelujah, you have been healed, static or not, okay? Static does not mean your VA disability rating is safe. That's not what it means. Static means that that disability is not likely to improve. It does not mean it's impossible to improve or it can't improve. So if you have evidence indicating your disability has improved and you give the VA a reason to take a look, they're not going to do that on their own. You got the 5-10 year rule there. That will prompt whatever course of action is deemed necessary. And something to keep in mind here, okay? it was my evidence that did spark the reevaluation. Well, it was me submitting new claims that sparked the reevaluation due to me having evidence that indicated an improvement, although there was no improvement. It was also my other evidence that really solidified that mental health rating there for me. And I'm not going to go into the weeds of stressors and symptoms and what I deal with or my family deals with because of me, but just know it's there. Okay. But yes, I wanted to share that story because a lot of people, I don't like the fear monger. And generally speaking, especially if you're P&T, you're going to be safe. 99.9% of the time, you're safe. But if you're not P&T, static does not mean your rating is safe. That's not, for some reason, people have combined those two ideas together, and they're not the same. Static is less likely to improve. It's not likely to improve. Safe means 20-year rules, the 20-year rule. They're not the same, okay? They are not the same. I hate the phrase poking the bear because in this case, I had the evidence for my mental health to maintain that rating, and obviously I submitted more claims, which increase that overall rating. So if I was scared to poke the bear, I would still be sitting at 70 or 80% or whatever that rating was back then. All right. So poking the bear, stupid phrase, dumb phrase. You need to submit evidence-based claims just in case the VA wants to mess around a little bit. But that's all I got. Thank you very much. Comment below if you were reevaluated or if you have any other questions. I'll do my best to answer them all. If you like really stupid t-shirts like this tinnitus shirt here, I've called it subtitles, right? Because you get the point. In the pinned comment below, you'll see the TheCivDiv Amazon shop. And then, of course, you have tons of links and descriptions if that's your thing. But thank you very much.